join me on a rather miserable Wednesday where I've got some dismantling to do on the Rover 75 known as Jasper. But because I did actually post a video of this car yesterday, I won't be showing it today. It's not raining properly, it's just drizzly, but it makes the thing so miserable. Everything's just... Should I explain that a little bit further? No. Well, there's not loads I need to do with this car really, because the rear suspension's shot on it. But I do want to get the headlining out and a couple of other bits in here. But I don't want to get it all soaking wet. And might as well take these seat belts. Fairly unusual to see a rear interior lamp that actually fits, but it has been repaired. Look, see. Matters not though, if it works. Hello, I'm still here. It's still Wednesday and I still haven't got this headlining out, but I am close, because where we have things like the pillar trim, you basically just pull them off. The headlining needs to be done with a bit more consideration, and that's why there are no seats in here or centre console, because I want to remove the headlining intact. I can't really be bending it anywhere. But the final stage, I've got the interior lights out and the sun visors and of course the pillar trim. The next bit is to remove the grab handles. Nice and dampened that, isn't it? Look at that. That's quality. All this time as well I'm avoiding doing anything where I'm getting grubby dabs, because that will transfer straight onto the headlining and that can, well, it'll ruin it, won't it? I don't really want that to happen. The 75 headlining is ready to come out. Now, which door do you suppose I should take it out of? Well, I reckon the rear door, because the front has the steering wheel in the way and the door in the way, whereas of course these come outwards like that, and that's the direction I want to take the headlining. Just watch. That job's done. Now I can get my hands grubby. I've only just noticed that everywhere's green suddenly. That happens to me every year. I look forward to the longer days and the warmer weather and the lack of rain, and then I suddenly notice that the trees are green again. It's like it just springs upon you and it's like there. I wonder if I'm alone with this kind of thing. I've definitely not got enough of these latches. That's not true. You know, I've said that the Vice looks like an elephant, and that's why I've given it eyes, to further emphasise that. Well, it's a funny thing, but the longer I look at this Vice, I almost find it cute. It's got an endearing little face, and I don't really want to use it as a Vice. I want to use it just as an elephant. And understandably that makes no sense, but you've got this far into the video, you know what to expect. Finally the sun's coming out, so what job next? On this car, known as Jasper, all of the doors have dents and scuffs on them, some worse than others. That one looks okay until you realise that it's got that bit there. It's got a few scratches here and there, and then this one, big scratch, big scuff, another dent there, etc. So, for a change, I'm leaving the doors on. They're just taking all the stuff out of the doors. It's gone and started raining again. I say, what a wonderful day it is to be wandering around the yard, talking to myself, enjoying this wonderful super duper British weather, taking things apart and basically getting my hands grubby. There really is some beauty in spilt power steering fluid. Have you ever wondered why so many people eat with their mouths open, talk with their nostrils closed, and spend their money on t-shirts that say Adidas? Now, Mick of Mad Ford Engineering. Have you got a brother or something? Because I've just seen a man in Aldi. There's a spitting image of you. Have you never mentioned anyone in Rochdale, but you know, spitting image, honestly. I actually thought it was you to start with. I mean, I knew it wasn't because he was a lot taller than you are. But, you know, if you was taller and had properly grey hair and a bigger belly, that could have been you. Spitting image, mate. And a moustache. And within a blink of an eye, Jasper was gone. Although, like all of these rovers, they will live on with their parts. And this one will live on with rust as well. Some big amounts of rust there, look how thick that is. And some more over there. That might, yeah, no, that is from Jasper. But actually, you know, that one isn't. This is SD1 rust. You can tell it's a different kind of colour of rust. It's a much crumblier rust. Look at that. It's like when you dunk a biscuit into your tea, what happens to that biscuit? That's SD1 rust for you. I think it's fair to say that the Rover 75 has a better quality of rust than the SD1. Now it is with a heavy heart I see these cars like that being sent off to the grave. In fact, even when I make that decision, there's a huge kind of feeling of guilt inside. But maybe a bit like, I don't know, a doctor. Like I'm a doctor of parts. I can only harvest these parts by killing cars. Strictly speaking, I don't actually kill them anyway. They turn up already half dead, and I just have to make sure I put them out of their misery without any further pain. A dignified end, that's what it is. Because otherwise, they'd just get scrapped and none of those bits would be kept. And that is the end of the Jasper episodes. In today's video, I'm going to do some headlamp buffing. I'm going to sell some Rover 75 facelift headlamps. And the facelift ones are always those lamps that go kind of dusty and yellow because they're made of inferior plastic. But the chap who's buying them could polish his own lamps, but instead he's going to buy mine and let me do the work. It probably makes sense in some ways because to polish these lamps up so they look like new again is going to take at least an hour, I reckon, maybe more. Here's the passenger side lamp or light cluster thingy, and as you can see it is not in a very nice condition state thing at all. This will take some work. Well, to start with, I'm going to give the lens a gentle washing with some soapy water, and then I'll go straight onto some 600 grit paper, which may seem a little bit harsh, but some of these bits are going to be a bit on the stubborn side otherwise. Wash, 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 a gentle wash of the lens. Lens, 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 lends me your ears. Have your ears ever got bored? starting to come up ever so slightly. That's the first rub down complete, and I'm probably going to need to do a bit more on the same paper actually, because that bit's still there now, it's dried out. I apologise if this isn't very interesting. I apologise if it is interesting, because I've already apologised. Can't take that back now. Snowing again. Cheer up, mate. Well, just gone beyond this stage and onto this stage, and it's coming up, but still some work to do on it yet. Hello. This one I've been working on for about 45 minutes so far. It's not perfect yet, still some more work to do on it, but that's what it started off looking as. That same kind of horrible hazy dustiness everywhere. I'm a bit disappointed. I have literally spent over an hour on this. Thought it was at the final stages, and you can see these kind of marks all over it still. It looks quite shiny until you just spot this stuff, so I'm going to have to go over the whole lot again to try and remove that. Some of these marks like this are just not going to come out. I can get the whole thing quite shiny, but these bits like that are just going to remain because it's actually inside the plastic. That's the problem. I'm used to a little bit of disappointment from time to time, but this is particularly annoying because I've spent 2.5 hours on one headlamp so far, and the stuff inside the actual plastic appears to be the problem. It simply won't clean up any further than it has done, because it's like all the way through the actual plastic itself has changed with sunlight. It's turned into a different compound, a compound that you can't polish shiny any further. Right then, the day has come to give Nigel the thrashing he so dearly wants. Well, the idea is take Nigel out, give it the beans, you know, a big full plate of beans with chili sauce and a dash of ginger and a big knob of butter to make it quite unhealthy. But of course, I can't really do it here. But what I can do is just simply warm the engine up. The engine needs warming up, doesn't it? Come on. Got to warm the engine up first. Oh yes. And in a moment I'll be back to the traffic. I'll have the perfect opportunity for the engine just to sit and get hot and not really do anything else. Just a few moments of slow moving traffic behind pats and puddles, and I can do some stuff. Rev the K-Series. The K-Series likes to rev. Let's do a rev with it. Let's make it rev quite a bit. Since doing the head gasket on Nigel, I've been very gentle with it, but I have felt ever so slightly like it's not quite as quick as it should be. Now that might be because I've been in Alfie quite a bit, which has got a bit more punch, and of course that's only got a 40,000 mile engine in it, so it's very, very healthy. Or it could be another particular thing. So today I've done a little trick with it, and I'm not even going to tell you what it is. Yeah, that's right, I'm being secretive, but I will tell you if it works. You're getting furry, mate.
I think it is a bit more responsive now.